Hey everyone, this is Manly Badass Zero, and welcome to The Last Door, Chapter 4. Previously on The Last Door, our main character got lost in some kind of foggy city, and in the end he seems to be either captured or converted by some kind of weird cult. Can you see all these stars twinkling in the black outer abyss? All the constellations traced by human eyes and long-distant eras. Look now to the forest in the valley, to the old tower, from the last tree in the distance to the stars in the sky. And even the stones beneath our feet are just silhouettes that hide the truth from our poor senses. Ancient shadows that hang over the veil that hides the world. As if it were the curtain of a theater, the veil separates the truth from the lie. The veil is a place, David, a place of mists. Anthony's great abilities brought you here, but his influence will soon fade away. The mask of lies will descend over your eyes once again. You must find the door, as I did. The door that gives passage through the veil. Open it, and we will walk together beyond the mist. Seems we're on a train, and our main character's lost in the veil, or the warp, as if they would say in Warhammer. I suppose you are wondering why I called you so urgently. I cannot deny it. Your letter was truly mysterious. I have been traveling, Doctor, to Scotland. Have you heard about the massacre of St. Giles? Why, yes. The tragic event has been the continued object of speculation and grim rumor in every newspaper in England. For weeks now, pamphlets have claimed that all kinds of macabre things took place. But I don't understand how all this is connected with my patient. He was there. I'm afraid he is one of the victims. Dear God. Are you telling me my patient has been murdered? Murdered? Thankfully, no. Please excuse me for alarming you. I did not mean to give this impression. Herr David was attacked, but survived. What happened to him then? It seems the criminal was caught by Herr David in the midst of the act, and he tried to do the same thing to David that he had done to the others. Fortunately, the nuns arrived in time to unearth him from the coffin. David was hospitalized. The nurses report that he remained unconscious for an entire day. What was David doing there? Many years ago, the St. Giles Hospital was a boarding school. It appears that both your patient and Mr. Beechworth spent a part of their youth together there. We can assume that Herr David was investigating something. He believed he had found a clue related to his friend's death. What was the cause of those awful deaths? No one knows for sure. The victims were inflicted with terrible wounds. All of them had an expression of utmost terror on their faces. I suspect you did not find Mr. Devitt in the hospital. Indeed, he was already gone by the time I arrived. I have not been able to determine his whereabouts since. I see. What conclusions do you draw from all these circumstances? I have some theories, but I would prefer not to reveal them until events have unfolded. In all of them, there is a fundamental element whose role has not yet been revealed. And what leads you to this conclusion? It is something that the Holy Sisters found beside Devitt, within the coffin. An empty hypodermic needle with traces of an unknown substance. I'm sure this is a place. Alexandre's house must be just ahead. I'd be kind of upset if there was some twist in the end that was just the students discovered the first ever use of LSD or something. The ancient castle of Pevensey rests in the distance. It was a garrison first built by the Romans, but was abandoned and has been a ruin ever since. There's a large iron bar latching the door. It's latched. I can't open it from the side. The house lights are on. Someone must be home. It is no matter if someone is home. No one is answering. Perhaps I should go inside anyway. I'll just tell the household that I'm an old friend come to visit, and that I'm also in an adventure game, and you pretty much are obligated to open your door to me so I can find clues and puzzles and items. Oh, this layout looks very familiar. Footsteps. There must be someone upstairs. A strange woman stares down at me, glaring with a silent reproach at my intrusion. A well-crafted grandfather clock, but it seems to be out of order. One of the hands is missing. That's going to come up in a puzzle later. The silhouette of a man. It bears a strong resemblance to Alexandre. The silhouette of a woman. A fine painting of a local Roman structures. They somehow seem more ancient in this depiction. A figurine of an angel facing the wall. I'm just gonna investigate your room first, my old friend. There's a scribbled annotation in the piece of paper. The veil is something we sense in our innermost being incessantly. In vain do we waste our lives craving to tear through. The Ilaval is the curtain behind which the great wings beat. Inside, its ancient mist inhabit the shadows of those who left. The table holds nothing but a box with the description, Laudanum, be taken in case of anxiety, is empty. This cuckoo clock is covered with dust. It seems to be missing an important piece, the bird. Alexandre, it's me, Devitt. I'm sorry if I startled you. Is everything alright? Why are you sitting in a wheelchair? Are you hurt maybe? Can you stand? He's staring blankly at some distant point, as if he has not heard my question at all. You told me I should come here, and I came as soon as I could. Can you tell me what is happening here? He gives no answer, but persistently stares at something nearby. He appears to be in some kind of hypnotic trance. When I was downstairs, I could have sworn I heard footsteps. Were they yours, or there someone else in the house? For a moment I felt a flash of hope that he was looking at me, but he is unresponsive. Alexandre, please, say something. I don't know what to do. I don't understand. Just what happened to him? Seems his mind has already been lost. He's probably mentally in the Vale right now. That's my guess anyway. A portrait of an old man, maybe a ship captain. It looks like he's trying to guard this chest with a stern glare. There's a large iron hook inside, in case I want to act like a pirate. I think I feel like acting like a pirate tonight. There was a fragment of a diary under the hook. I can't work in the basement anymore. Those wretched sculptures. I feel them stalking me in the darkness. I know it is not possible, but I can hear the crunches, the flapping wings, stone grinding on stone. The frozen paroxysms. With what diabolical art were those gestures conceived? An internal movement, a tension, an impossible struggle to get back the life they never had. I might place them outdoors, in the greenhouse, and let the mold devour them and wasps make nests to their hollow hearts. Some kind of dark room, I guess. Camera tripod. It looks like some kind of red tinted glass cover used to mask a lamp. It's completely shattered on the floor. Good, I felt like washing my 2-pixel hand. Cyanide. Rat masks. You weird cults and nobles with your strange parties always have to wear masks. People just can't go as themselves, even if that self is a rat person or a crow person or something. It's a big book of home chemistry recipes. A few pages have been bookmarked and some articles are underlined. Technical stuff here. This is probably a clue for my puzzle. Alright, so we gotta clean it, huh? Okay, I have a good idea what's happening here. That cyanide up. We'll have to bring something to this water here. Suspicious bust. A large envelope of black felt, covered in dust and ashes. It is labeled with a warning. Do not open it under white light. Alright. That's for the dark room then. Dear Alexandre, I have excellent news. A contract from the university has given me access to a 12th century alchemical tome containing an amazing formulary. There's no doubt that sometimes mere contemplation takes the mind to places that otherwise it would never have visited. Leafing through the grimoire and marveling at the exquisite illumination of its pages, I have been struck by a sudden epiphany, a radical but elegant method that I have decided to try. Forgive me for not providing any information about the method itself. As soon as I get definite results, I will write to you immediately. I believe fortune has truly smiled upon us today. June 8th. Invoice. The cuckoo clock mechanism has been modified to give the strokes exclusively at 6:15 in the afternoon. Okay. Angel theming. The shelf is lined with strange and complex books. Some titles include The Movements of Shadows, Preserving the Mind, and Lessons Beyond Nature. I think this is the last area of this house we haven't looked in. A couple of old teacups sit on the table. One of them is full and still warm. Oh. I always seem to gain some form of lighting in every chapter. Oil lamp is kind of the old flashlight for the games. It's a diary. This is the last thing written. The last pages have been ripped off. It's been a while, since I can't devote any time to this diary for reasons beyond my control. An event most tragic has taken place in this house. Mr. Dupré has gone ill, immersed in an everlasting stupor from which, it seems, he should not return anytime soon. Since the accident, I patiently take care of him. The doctor's treatments don't seem to do any good. I feed him like a child, and make sure that all of the sculptures in the house are turned towards the wall. What else can I do? The clockmaker just left. He has done such a good job. In the end, Mr. Dupré is not going to be able to notice the change in the clocks. Insistently requested. In his state, time will not be a problem anymore. So let's see what's behind this door over here. Hopefully it's not locked. Alright, a back door, a basement. Let's see if we can unlock this door. Yeah, okay. A little shortcut. Spooky well. A grave. Yours. It looks like someone was buried here. Can't dig with my bare hands. Nonsense. You can dig with a hook, right? An ancient stone well. A rope hangs inside, disappearing into the darkness below. Damn. Hey, free rope. Now we have a rope with a hook. So we can do some ninja climbing if we have to. Or more logical things, I guess. Alright, so that's our key. Okay, I have a good idea of where everything's going now. The reason it was latched from the outside is because he put a bunch of statues in there from like Doctor Who. kind of figured you wouldn't have to worry, you know, about the whole no blink thing if they were in here. Locked up. Oh man, they really are the statues from Doctor Who. A statue of an angel with its wings spread. Its head is missing. Take that. That's another thing we need for the puzzle. You better not move after I start walking. Just before I leave. Okay, yeah. Right. Boom. Within the mud and dirt inside the bucket, there was a small bird of brass. The birds for the clock will go back up there. Alright, that's one thing down. My god. What have you done to this innocent animal? The corpse of a deer. Its abdomen torn open. It looks recently dead. I'm not sure what I actually accomplished by coming out here aside from finding a dead deer. I guess really nothing? Seems that way. I didn't actually think that was gonna work. I thought I was going to make a stupid pun about light bulbs and blood, but apparently I actually did. That's such a roundabout way of doing it. I remember I talked about this before of this game. So, we can't have it under white light. So we get the light bulb out, we take it all the way out to the woods, manage to find a random deer corpse, which is conveniently in the front yard, and we use it to paint the light bulb red. We couldn't just find like a red thing of paint somewhere, but you know. Don't question these games. Alright, we'll put you back up there. Sorry if I had to do this in a little bit of a disgusting way. Alright. This first. The oil has caused a strong acidic reaction. This next. I've applied the liquids in the correct order. All that remains is to rinse the plate. An image is appearing on the plate. It's a photograph of Anthony and Alexandre. Oh, Jesus. Wait, I'm in no danger. Wait, yes I am. The image is back in the frame. Maybe this will get his mind going. Alexandre, do you recognize this photograph? Take a look. It is you and our old friend Anthony, and there was someone else blurred in the background. Who is the third figure? Does he mean something to you? A piece of clockwork. A hand. The bird will come for us all. You cannot escape the pecking of the eyes. I put the clock hand in its place. I only need to set the clock to the correct time. The sound came from upstairs. The bird has burst out of the stroke. Now its beak is open. There was a key inside the bird. This is another thing of great ingenuity. Break open the bird, we had to put on a clock. Match the two clocks with one being kind of tipped to the side. And make sure you hit the right time so the bird can cuckoo, send it flying out, snap its beak, and the key comes out. A dusty carpet of Asian origin. Molten dust covered the portrait, making the subject indistinguishable. The remains of a Roman mosaic behind this wall. I can't distinguish anything clearly. You just had to build your house over Roman ruins, didn't you? Oh no, the angels. A book written in a language unknown to me. There was a scrawled annotation written in English on one of the margins. This, and no other, is a function of the serum we had manufactured at the boarding school when we were young. It is something that we didn't understand by that time. To accompany the mind to the proscenium of the big theater, and there, help us look to behind the curtain that separates the world of men from, and the land of truth. To look, I say, if anything, and apprehend an image of what lives there. Just that. Will the hoopoe allow us to raise the curtain enough to walk off the stage and go beyond? What have you done? Maybe that was it for over there. Oh no, we'll come back later. Wait a minute. What's this? The lock is very rusted, almost shattered. The wooden box, it seems too small for a coffin. Too small for a coffin, huh? Undoubtedly, your methods are definitely stronger than mine. How do you manage to get results with such alacrity? On another note, my epiphany with the treatise of alchemy was not accidental. When examining the text closer, I have come to the conclusion that for a time, Raymundus Lully sought the same thing as we did. In his account, he describes a formula that he calls hoopoe. Yes, like a legendary bird. It closely resembles the serum with which we have worked so far, except for minor differences. It's a pity what you tell me about old Mike. I hope he gets better soon. Remains of a humanoid body with a grotesque animal aspect. Maybe a small ape. It has a collar with some engraved word on it. Old Mike. A map of the stars. Some kind of navigation map. Several constellations are marked. Deneb, Altair, Vega. Alexandre. The birds come for you too. Am I too late? Alexandre. Some diary pages on the wheelchair. The paper is ripped apart, as if someone had stripped it off the book hastily. I'm writing this in the light of my desk lamp, hoping to be able to remember it all when the birds finally sing and the sun blessing dispels the dark shadows of the mind. During the whole afternoon, a strong wind hit the valley, so strong that it has cracked a larger branch of the old oak in the garden. I find it hard to get sleep during these nights, so I read a lot while accompanying the professor. I don't really know when exactly I fell asleep. I was awakened by the chill of the night, which was seeping through the open window. I looked outside, I saw him. The professor was miraculously awake. What was my joy to see him standing on the balcony, watching the valley with a true, serene expression, enjoying the fresh and calm air right after the storm. I felt that a blessing had fallen upon this house, and for a moment, I felt immensely happy. I stared at him for a while without saying anything, being afraid of dispelling a vision I hadn't believed possible for a long time. And then, in the midst of the silence, I heard a sound that froze me in my seat and snatched all my calmness with such a terrible chill that I will never forget. A loud noise beside me, low-pitched as the drag of a slab. Mr. Alexandre's snore, who was pleasantly sleeping in his bed. I've already made a decision. I'll leave this house. The statue. It's holding something. It's a lens mounted in a metal ring. Crystal. There are some strange symbols marked on the surface. I think we've gotten what we came here for. I suspect my friend was never here in the first place, so... That variation maybe. Waiting for me to... come back. Unless I find his body out here. No. What was that? This game has no voice acting usually. I just realized that crack looks like a giant eye opening, staring at me. It's all symbolic and stuff. Alexandre? I thought there was a secret door behind that thing, but I couldn't access it before. Snow? An open envelope with a letter inside it. Dear Alexandre, I'm terribly sorry about old Mike. Will you put him to rest in his favorite place? After weeks of unsuccessful attempts, I've managed to distill the alchemical formula based on the notes you sent me. Certainly you're a master of this craft. The subject reacted to the serum as usual, rapidly entering into a state of waking sleep. Suddenly, the convulsion stopped, and since then, he's not responding to any kind of stimulation. He has remained in this state for many days. My diagnosis is brain dead. What should be our next step, Alexandre? I'm worried this could be the end of our research. strange symbols, huh? Oh. I'm going to look at the map and the carving. There's a dark hole in the center of this room. It delves into the depths of the earth, far beyond what I can see. The secret of the triangle. Correct. This is the summer triangle. I accomplished something, I believe. Ah. There we go. So... Right. Huh. Okay. Fake Japanese. V. And Space Invader. There was a small cabinet with 2 slots of syringes. Only one of them remains. The voice again. It comes from the bottom of the pit. I am tempted to look down. Alexandre. So I'm back at the beginning. This is what you asked me to search for. Is it not, Alexandre? Am I right? The last door. Ça, il a fall. The last door. We can cross together. What should I do? I'm waiting for you. Here, in the mist. It's nearby. I can hear it. What is nearby? What do you hear? I hear the beating of its wings. It knows we are afraid. I am ready. Sit down. I always seem to find myself wandering in the fog in this game. Either in some kind of forest or a fog. There was that foggy village, and I believe I had some kind of flashback to my childhood that involved fog too. It's like the fog represents the veil. So that ends The Last Door, Chapter 4. So the story kind of went in a direction I didn't think it would go. I thought the last one was gonna basically foreshadow a kind of bigger climax that was gonna happen in this episode, but they kind of brought back the pacing down a bit into the kind of old style they've been using. And it seems now, finally, that we're kind of going into the crescendo of what's behind the veil and whatnot. I hope that's what's happening anyway. And it's not just another dream and he's gonna wake up somewhere. On another note, I've been watching True Detective lately, and I think with some of the kind of influences on this story and some of the, like the yellow cloaks they wear and the cities and stuff he visits, I think what he's dealing with is the King in Yellow. Probably not the exact King in Yellow, or it could be the exact King in Yellow, but something that's very inspired by him, kind of like how Lovecraft was inspired by the King in Yellow. And the King in Yellow, you know, whenever you deal with that story, you deal with the Carcosa and the multiple faces and the whole, well, yellow robe and stuff like that, so this is very much moving in that direction right now. I think this series has a bit of a pacing problem, and it's much more noticeable in this one, because every episode, I think it might be somewhat purposeful, kind of like a TV series or something like that, where it's a little bit of build up, then a little climax, and then it drops off, see you next episode, cliffhanger. But this kind of gets old a little bit because every episode has been very similar so far. You enter like a house or something similar. In one case it was a city, but you were just entering multiple houses. You kind of solve some puzzles. Partway through the thing, you'll have like a jump scare or something. And then eventually, after you solve all the puzzles, you will have some kind of big dramatic exit that foreshadows some kind of bad thing happening. But then when the next episode comes, you, basically everything's kind of reset a bit. Like, there wasn't actually really much of a threat there, it was mostly hallucination. Except for the being buried thing. That was kind of legit. And maybe that's purposeful. Maybe most of Devitt's journey is just hallucination. I don't really know. But I know that he was saved by the nuns from the coffin, and you never saw any of that type of stuff, so he might be mad from ever since that point on. Anyway, that's about it for what I think about this plot and the game series so far. So, as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.